Hi guys, we are back today on In the Kitchen with Sandy, and I am going to show you a very simple recipe to make your holiday black eyed peas. We're also going to do a sauerkraut and baby back rib video along. It's going to be like two combined into one here, so we're going to get them both started. We finally got the camera figured out to where I'm not upside down. I hope I'm not upside down, so please let me know if I am. And we'll try to get this figured out. But I'm preparing my New Year's dinner here. We're having a big carry-in at work tomorrow night, so I'm cooking for my family, and then I'm going to cook for my extended family at work. So I'm taking in some black-eyed peas, and I'm taking in some sauerkraut with baby back ribs. So they're so easy to make, both so easy to make. I'm doing my sauerkraut in my crock pot, and I'm doing my black-eyed peas on top of the stove. Now, what I want you to do first with your black-eyed peas is what I like to do is make sure you rinse them real well. You're going to rinse them just like you would, if you were cooking soup beans. And what I've got here going on in my pan, let me try to angle you here. And again, I still have boxes and stuff galore sitting around my house. We just can't seem to get together from Christmas. So we're going to try to angle this at the pan here. See what we can. It. All right, into my pan, my big pot here, stock pot, I put about a tablespoon of bacon grease. I'm not going to use bacon in these. I bought a nice smoked pork hock, a little pork hock to go in there. I put mine in the freezer, but it's frozen, but that's all right. It'll go perfectly fine in the pot here. But what I want you to do first is, see, I've got my bacon grease in there, if you can see it. And this is going to season your black-eyed peas. But I want you to, we're going to saute our onion. I've just chopped some onion here. And it doesn't matter the size of the onion. I kind of like mine if it's going in soups or stews or, anything like that. I kind of keep it a little bit big because I like to have a little bit of bite. And I've got a couple cloves of garlic here. And we're just going to saute that in that little bit of bacon drippings. I always say my bacon drippings because I like to use it in a lot of my cooking. And then we're just going to stir that around, and we're just going to, let's move you a little bit here. We're just going to kind of cook this until it's a little bit translucent. Now, I like black-eyed peas. My mom used to make them all the time when we were little, so, I mean, I like them. They kind of taste like a soup bean to me, but they also have like an earthy type flavor as well. Some people don't like them, so... But this is a really good recipe. I like mine to be soupy, like a soup bean, instead of just, I can eat them either way. If they're dried, like, without broth, but I prefer them like this because I like to crumble a little bit of cornbread up into my black-eyed peas as well. And they say it's supposed to bring you good luck for the new year if you have the sauerkraut and, the pork and the black-eyed peas. So we all need a little luck. As much luck as we can get. But we're just going to go ahead and saute those up a little bit. Just like I said, to where nice and translucent. I love the smell of that, the garlic and the onions. They don't have to get soft because these are going to cook for about a half an hour to about 30, 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour, and just till they're, the consistency you like. I don't like them cooked to mush. I like them cooked like a good soup bean. I like them to still have a little bite to them. So once we've got this going here, we're going to go ahead and add our chicken stock. And it makes all the difference in the world if you're using chicken stock instead of just water. I like to add water to mine too, but I always add a chicken bouillon as well. And then we're going to add our black-eyed peas. And again, make sure that you rinse those in water because they're just like a soup bean. Sometimes you'll find the little pebbles, little rocks in there. You definitely don't want to bite into a little rock. I'm just going to give that a stir. Look how pretty these are. Let's move it up a little bit. We're going to also put in, actually this is like slightly over 2 cups of water. I'm using bottled water. I don't like to use, we have a well, I don't like to use well water in when I'm making soups or anything like that. that in there. And we're also going to add, and you know what, I might even go ahead and put another, because I'm using a whole pound of the black-eyed peas, I may go ahead and put another couple cups of water in there. Go ahead and grab that. Chicken stock is going to add such flavor to this. I'm going to go ahead and add one more bouillon since I did add the extra water. And these, I love these things. I keep these on hand at all times. Even if I use just chicken stock, I like to use the bouillon. Because chicken stock really don't have a whole lot of flavor to it. You just kind of have to add that as well. And then we're going to go ahead and add some pepper. I like to use a lot of pepper, and I'm out of my pepper for my pepper mill still. It smells so good. And then we're going to add, I like to add a little bit of onion powder in it. Well, if I can get it open. I don't generally use any extra salt at this point because the chicken stock has, you know, quite a bit of sodium in it. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of onion powder in there. Because again, the onions just kind of give it an extra bite to it. They don't give it a real oniony flavor. I like mine to have a little bit of onion in it. And then we're going to add our big, beautiful piece of pork there. And we're going to put that in there. And what we're going to do is put a lid on this, and we're going to bring it up to a boil. And we're going to cook these for, like I said, probably about 35, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on the doneness that I like. You cook them as done as you want to cook them, you know, the doneness that you like. So we're going to let that go, bring it up to a boil. Let's go ahead and go over and get started on the sauerkraut. Alright, we've got 10 things going on here at once. That's my daughter. Alright, here, what I've got going on over here is some sauerkraut. Let's kind of angle you down a little bit there if we can without putting you in the dishwater. Can you see it? Can you see it? Alright, let's go down. There we go. Here is my sauerkraut I've got going on. Don't look at this is my junk corner, so don't look at it. If you do look at it, don't say anything about it. Alright, what I've got going on here is my sauerkraut here, and I have got this beautiful rack of baby back ribs. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now, what I like to do is, get ahead of myself here, we're going to cut those ribs. Olivia, when you're done. Girl! Jesus, I dropped my phone. I dropped it. Guess we didn't have it in that good, did we? Let's start over here. This is a non-alcoholic version of a video, I promise you. Alright, will you grab me the bacon grease? If my phone falls in the sink, I'm going to be pissed. Alright, what I'm going to do here to these ribs is I'm going to go ahead and cut them. I like to cut them in... Watch this damn thing fall in the sink. I'll be livid. I like to cut them in pieces of 2, like 1, 2. You can see the rib there. And these are just for cooking in the sauerkraut. And we're going to place them right in there. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get them all cut up before we place them there. I don't have a lot of room to work with here. I need a bigger house, so y'all need to start sharing these videos. Alright, we're just going to cut those. Now, my sauerkraut, I like to put a little bit of bacon grease in that as well. Just a little bit, not a whole lot, because the pork is going to flavor it nicely. I usually cook my sauerkraut, it would be easier if I can see the bones there, and, you know, with hot dogs. I fry my hot dogs up. I've also got a crock pot of that going as well, because that's how my husband likes his. He likes his with hot dogs in it, but for my work, I figured I'd go ahead and do the sauerkraut and pork, which hot dogs are pork, but they're also, everything beef, chicken, ostrich, llama. Hot dogs are a little cat, dog. You know, it's hard to tell them what you get in a hot dog. You probably never eat a hot dog again if you read the ingredients. So I love hot dogs. It's a nice staple food. Everybody has hot dogs in their freezer. All right, now I've got these cut. See how I kind of cut them in like pieces of 2. Some of them I've done 1. And I'm just going to bring my crock pot right over here. And I've already got a couple jars in there. I prefer the, oh, what is that? What's the sauerkraut that I prefer? My daughter don't like sauerkraut. We're going to put these right in here. What the hell is the name of that sauerkraut? All right, we're going to put this in here. Look how pretty that is. And that is going to flavor it so nicely. And she did go ahead and get the bacon grease out. Let me rinse my fingers off. Damn, this is like technical difficulties here, so I appreciate you guys all being patient here. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon and a half of the bacon grease in there because I like my bacon grease in it. It flavors it so nicely. And then I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in this. Oh, my black-eyed peas are starting to come up to a boil. So we're going to go ahead and pepper that really well. I'm also doing today is my daughter's birthday. Look, I got a lot of pepper in here because that's just the way I like it. Look at that, how pretty that is. I'm not going to put any salt in it. Heaven forbid, don't put any salt in your sauerkraut because you will be in an emergency room with a cardiac arrest. But anyway, today is my daughter's birthday, so happy 15th birthday to Olivia. And she has decided that she wanted some baby back ribs, barbecued ribs, so I'm going to barbecue some ribs as well. I went to Krout's yesterday and got a nice big piece of, a whole piece of salmon, and it's absolutely beautiful, so we're going to do that today. I've already got the salmon and the asparagus on my YouTube channel as far as a video, so I'm not sure if I'll do that live or not, but we'll see. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with my computer, so I can't really edit any videos, so what you see is what you get. You get the real deal here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put another container of sauerkraut in here. And you know what? This is brand new, so I probably better. Did you open this other sauerkraut? Let me show you a trick to get sauerkraut open if you can't open it. It's really hard to get open, so what I like to do is, don't try this at home, kids. If you stab it and you release some of the juices, look how that opened up nicely. But I'm going to go ahead and add another thing of sauerkraut there. Now I like to cook mine on high for about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 hours. Again, I don't like my sauerkraut cooked to death. I don't like anything cooked to death. I don't deal that way very good with it. So we're going to go ahead and add that in there. I'm going to give all this a nice stir. Find me a nice big spoon. Excuse me. And then just give that a nice big stir. And we're just going to let this go. And the meat, like I said, is going to flavor it so well. But look at that. Just go ahead and add all your juices. Don't pour that juice out. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Now I'm going to cover this. Turn it up on high and let it go most of the day. And I'll probably come back live later and show you exactly what that looks like, as well as my black-eyed peas. So I'll see you soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share all my videos.